of what's going to happen right now. Who's going to lead the Muslims? Who's going to fill in this vacuum? Abu Sufyan urges those around, not that he had much clout, this was in Al-Madinah, and this was in a place where his power base in Mecca really didn't have much clout. So he urges the Muslims to agree that Ali becomes the leader of the Muslims. He doesn't do this because he recognizes the virtues and the qualities and the merits of Ali. He does this because he recognizes the group solidarity within Quraysh. Because Ali was closer to Abu Sufyan than Abu Bakr and Umar were to him. If we were to take the pedigree of Quraysh, Abu Bakr and Umar came from Taym. They weren't the immediate cousins of the Umayyi clan, as were the Hashimis, from whom Imam Ali is an individual. So on the basis of this Usra and Ashira and Qabaliyah, he spoke what was on his mind. But he did not find a response, because the Muslims now, the majority of Muslims who were around, were convinced that we don't want the culture of Al-Jahiliyyah now to influence our decision, especially on this matter. So the days and the years go by, not really any breakthrough here up until now, as far as regaining that stature and that position of power in Mecca. So what happens during the rule of Abu Bakr and Umar? The Islamic territories now have expanded into the north, the east, the south, the west. And people are going to have to be given responsibility. One of the responsibilities that was given to the sons of Abi Sufyan is that they should be, let me retract a moment here, the Islamic armed forces during the time of the first successor to Allah's Prophet were under the leadership of Khalid ibn al-Walid. And one of the major generals in today's language around Khalid was Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah. These were the military type of men. They were looking, as should have been the case, they were looking at who qualifies to be in charge of this area, who is familiar with this area. We're talking about here an area referred to in Islamic history as Bilad al-Sham. The geography of today says it is Palestine, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. Who qualifies now to be in a position to administer this area? These are administration responsibilities. And this responsibility was given to Yazid, the brother of Muawiyah and the son of Abi Sufyan. And this was done because this is a piece of history that also goes unthought of. Because the Umayyads, before the advent of the Prophet, before Islam, they used to trek in their commercial pursuits between Arabia and the Sham. They used to go several times a year on commercial missions to that area. It is even said that there was a dispute. The grandfather of Muawiyah and his grand uncle had some type of fallout between themselves, and one of them, the grand uncle, relocated. He moved from Mecca to Damascus. So this person here, this family, not only was it familiar with these people, this territory, this culture, but they also had something like a residence there. So you would want to give administrative responsibilities to people who have some qualifications here. So they looked around, and it may have also been with a streak of extending the concept of al-mu'allafa qulubuhum, because up until now they didn't show any outright hostility to the central Islamic government in Al-Madinah. So give them this responsibility. After a short while, Muawiyah's brother Yazid, who was basically in charge of what is today Jordan, passes on. So now Muawiyah becomes an inheritor to Jordan, the area of Jordan, in addition to the area of Damascus or Ash-Sham. This is the explanation of why they occupied this position. Besides, also Amr ibn Al As, when he was given can be called today the governorship of Egypt, it is because he was a person who had traveled there many times and was familiar, had experience with these people. You can't send someone as sincere as they may be, but cannot have administrative qualities to perform the responsibilities and the duties that come from that position. So this is how they began to climb the Islamic social ladder. It was through the military. Having this position would not fool Abu Bakr or Umar. As a matter of internal politics or internal decision making, there was a very serious disagreement between Abu Bakr and Umar as how far and for how long is this concept al-mu'allafa qulubuhum applied. Is this going to be forever? We're going to keep on paying these khulaqa or these mu'allafa qulubuhum this monthly stipend, or there shall come a time where they're going to have to prove themselves. Umar was of the opinion that enough years have lapsed, they should prove themselves. They should not be on, let us say, the Islamic dole. And Abu Bakr during his time disagreed with that. Nevertheless, they gained these positions, these individuals, they gained these positions, and they used the goodness in the Muslim hearts of Quraysh al-Muhajira. And remember, when we take it, before we were looking at Islamic history as it unfolded towards the north and the east, Al-Kufa, Al-Basra, and the Iraqi areas. Now we are looking at Islamic history as it unfolded in the north and towards the west. And we began to have now, in this new dimension of Islam, we began to have an excessive expression of opportunism. Remember how sensitive Al-Imam Ali